Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can create a Docker container using a command prompt and what are the advantages of using a command prompt instead of using the Docker daemon itself. So I got Windows 10 here and I've installed a Docker daemon on my computer here. And I've got a bunch of images. I got this from the Docker Hub. They are free. The image that I'll be working on today will be Ubuntu. This is version 20.04. When I say conventional way of creating a container is you go roll your cursor over your image and you hit run and then do all the necessary volume mapping from your local drive to the container drive and give it a name. Let's say call it a test X, and you run it. And what this does is that it creates a container for you. And if you click if you want to access the CLI or command line interface, you click on this guy here. Of course, this has to be running, has to be showing green. And once that is done, you go ls and issue and work with all your Linux command prompt, and they all commands, I guess, and they all work that way. So I'm just gonna close this, or just gonna close this session here. The other way I'm trying to demonstrate to you today is using a command prompt, and I'll show you what the advantages are, right? So for example, in order to run a Docker, or rather create a container, you gotta run from a DOS command prompt. I'm gonna resize this so that it fits nicely here on the window, and I can see the Docker daemon on the side here. So in order to run a Docker container, so you type docker run, and then let's go to the daemon here and click on images, and this is the image that I'm gonna create and run. You type Ubuntu and then colon and the tag, right? So what this does is that it creates the image, a container, but it does not allow you to run it. So if you click enter here, you can see it creates an image, but it's all grayed out because the interactive component is not enabled for this one here. And if you try to run it or start it, it starts and stops immediately, but it's too fast that you can't really see it, right? So to add the interactive component, you do the same command, run, and you put -i interactive. That allows you to run and access the CLI. So if you go here and hit enter, you can see it creates a new one. And now this time around your container is green, right? And if you click on CLI here, you can see that you have access to your Ubuntu. I'm just gonna close this guy here and do a bit of cleanup here. Remove, and I'm gonna remove this guy here as well, and remove the last one. Okay, if you want a TTY, so what you do is that you put T here and hit enter here. So what T does is that it allows you to access the container from your command prompt itself. So over here you can see that the cursor here is ready with the Linux command. So over here you type ls, you can see all the directories are colored, right? Now what this TTY function allows you to do is that it allows you to use your tabs and your arrow keys. Like for example, if I go home, press H and press tab, you can see the command prompt is automatically filled up, and hit enter. ls give you the list of directory, right? And you can also use the up and down arrow key to see the last few commands that you have typed, right? So ls, you can see it's full functional S B bin, right? And ls, you can see it's fully functional keyboard, right? And you can use the arrow key up, down, and all that stuff in order to access it. So I'm just gonna exit out of this guy here. And again, this session is actually a Hungry Lewin that's running. So hit exit here. Look what it does here. What it does is that it stops your session there, right? Just gonna clear it. Okay. The next thing I'll demonstrate is you see how the name is Hungry Lewin. If you want to name your container yourself or customize your name, same thing again. I'm gonna run this way, interactive and TTY enable, and over here you put --name and give it a name. I don't know, maybe XynetContainer, and give a space. And when I hit enter here, what it does is that it goes ahead and create a container name XynetContainer. It runs it, and interactive mode is enabled. You go ls. Again, your TTY is functional, so you go sbin, and then you go ls. You can see this, you get all nice full color setup there, right? And the last thing I will demonstrate would be, I'm gonna exit this guy here. You can see the container will close and stop. The last thing I want to demonstrate would be the ability to have a admin setup on your network, so that on your container, you know, by default the container does not come with ability to change your IP address, right? So how do you enable it? So same thing, docker run minus interactive TTY enable and a customized name, and then the flag that you're gonna have to use to enable a net admin would be space dash dash cap dash add equal capital NET underscore admin, just like that. So it's docker space run space that minus IT space dash dash name, this is your name of the container, followed by space, then you do a minus minus cap minus add equal net underscore admin. So when you hit enter here, it behaves exactly the same way, you know. Oops, sorry, I think I already got the previous container name that way. Let me change this to call it a different name, I guess, number 2. So the same name, you can't really use it, right? So now you have the direct same thing again. Now you can go ahead and change your IP address and whatnot, but keep in mind, before you change any of the IP address, there's a couple of packages you're gonna have to install. One of them would be the package called IP route. So to install would be apt-install IP route, and right, with a flag of Y as a default, saying yes to everything. But the demonstration I'm doing today is not to install packages or do an IP address changes. Maybe I'll do the next demonstration for that, but I guess this is the end of the tutorial. If you find this tutorial handy or helpful, please like and subscribe. Other than that, you have a good day. Bye now.